Yeah, and welcome back. It just feels like it's been a long day. I saw Alien Romulus last night. Let's not bury. Let's just get into it. Let's just talk about it. This movie, this movie, it's like down my throat. It's so sore. It's like my chest is gonna burst or something. But no, Alien Romulus saw last night. My theater reaction was already up. I really, really like this movie. This is a good movie. This is a worthy movie in the Alien franchise. It's interesting. The Alien and Predator franchise were kind of in a rut. They were almost, I wouldn't go so far as to say they were dead. People were still trying to make efforts, but the efforts weren't working. Alien Prometheus was mixed received. Alien Covenant was more well received, but it wasn't a blockbuster smash. In fact, I think that movie actually did lose a little money. And The Predator, well, I had some fun with, was not a good movie. That's probably safe to say it wasn't a good movie. So these franchises are connected, but have been kind of just, people haven't been able to crack the code on how to make a good version of them for a while. And then Prey came out. And Prey was really good. It was a very good return to form on how to do a Predator movie. On what the bare bones of a Predator movie is supposed to be, and that's what you branch off of. Now, not every Predator movie needs to go that route. Like Predators, I actually think is a pretty good movie. Do I think it's better than the original? No. Do I think it's better than, say, Predator 2? Depends on my mood. I'd say probably yes, though. Though I do like Predator 2. But yeah. Now, I say all this because Aliens is followed in a very similar suit. Alien and Aliens are all-time classic sci-fi horror and sci-fi action movies. If you notice there's a bit of a lag, I apologize, but there's nothing. It just comes and goes, this lag. I don't know why. But yeah, all-time classic. Alien 3 is not great, but it's not bad either. It's okay. Alien Resurrection, not so much. Alien Resurrection is, again, I remember rewatching Alien Resurrection quite a bit, and there are things I like in Alien Resurrection, but it's got a lot of problems. And then we had Alien vs. Predator, both 1 and 2. First one's actually all right. Second one, the Alien and Predator stuff's really good. The human stuff is some of the worst stuff they tried to make us care about in these movies. And then you had Prometheus, which it's different. It's very weird. I overall like it. And I like Alien Covenant. So now we're here. I've 3 minutes and now we're talking about it. So where does this fall in the pantheon of the Alien franchise? A lot of people say it's the best Alien movie in decades. I would probably agree with that, but that's not saying a lot. The most recent Alien movie, and I mean Alien movie, since Prometheus would have been Resurrection, and that came out in the late 90s. So it's not saying much, because decades now, we're 2 decades separated from that movie. Think about that for a moment. But what this film did well, what this film did right, was capture all of the original spirit and tone and vibe of the original 2 movies. This movie is about atmosphere. This movie is about horror. When it gets gory, it gets gory. When it gets intense, it gets intense. It is claustrophobic at points. Makes you squirm at points. There is a scene in this movie. I'm not going to say what it is, but it's near the end where I'm just going, oh. So, yeah, even someone like me who's seen a lot when it comes to these movies and just gore movies in general, even I'm going like, no mas, no bueno. So they definitely got that right, but they captured, as weird as it is to say, there is a fun with Alien as well, particularly Aliens. Aliens, there's more fun because it's more of a sci-fi action with a little bit of horror in it. And there's a little bit of that here too. Like it's that scary fun we like. Like, oh, what's gonna happen next? Oh God, but you're enjoying yourself while watching it. It's great. All the actors are doing a really good job. The actor who played Andy, I believe his name is something Jackson, who played Andy. He's kind of the standout, I think. He sold this very well. So the basic plot, you probably heard it at this point, but basic plot is you have these. And by the way, this isn't really a spoiler, I'll say right now. Andy is a synthetic. That is actually kind of revealed in the trailer. So it's I don't think that's a spoiler to say. Anything else, I'm not going to talk about any real spoilers, but that I think is kind of already revealed if you're paying attention to the trailer. And you might be saying, well, I didn't see the trailer, why'd you? Then shut up, the trailer's out there. You don't have a right to bitch if you didn't watch the trailer. The trailer's out there. Other people did. I can talk about it. I just hate when people... Yeah, I won't say the other thing that got on my nerves earlier this week. But it falls kind of in suit with that, or in line with that. Regardless, so there's Rain and Andy. Andy is her synthetic guardian. They live, and they're on this terraform. Those were I was looking for terraform planet, and working for the Wayland Corporation. And they agreed to so they can get off this planet and go to a different planet to do this heist to get these cryopods so they can go and leave this planet. Well, it's on this space station Romulus, short for Romulus and Remus, because it's actually two space stations in one. That's why it is Romulus, but there's Remus as well. And wouldn't you know it, they find the xenomorphs and all hell breaks loose. And that is really your bare bones story. And that's really all you need, at least going into this. Do you need to watch the other Alien movies? No, you don't. They actually fill in a lot of stuff, or just enough that you can understand what happened prior. Because it's not revealed in the movie, but it does... Actually, it's not revealed in the trailer. But it is revealed in the movie that when this movie does take place, without giving too much away, because I actually still don't know how far it takes place from the original, but it is after the original. They never say how far it is, so I don't know if it's after the second or even after the third, but it is after the original film. That's the most I can give you. So, because of that, they actually do a good job of filling you in on the stuff that happened prior to the events of this film. So things that carried over from the first movie or previous films. There is so many callbacks to Aliens, Alien Resurrection, Prometheus, and Covenant by omission. Like, there is shockingly a lot they adapt from the other source materials here into this film, and it doesn't feel shoehorned in. It feels natural. It feels best. I heard it put best. This kind of feels like a best of, but in a really good way. They really managed to capture the balance. Now, and when the action hits, it's intense. It's good. The stuff with the facehuggers is legitimately terrifying. I look at those scenarios they're in when it comes to the facehuggers. I'm like, no, I don't want to be in that scenario. When the xenomorphs come in too, they are frightening. They are back to being, because once you got to Resurrection, they really did stop being scary. I would say would I say in Covenant it was scary? It was kind of scary in Covenant. I'll admit that it was kind of scary. Was it scary in Alien 3? There are moments where it's creepy, but I wouldn't go so far as to say scary. And the first two, it's probably the most terrifying they were. This is probably the most terrifying they've been since the first two. And I say that as someone who said, yeah, the Xenomorph was kind of scary in Covenant, but it's the most terrifying they have been in a while. And it works. And I'm not factoring Alien versus Predator or Requiem, because frankly, they really weren't that scary in either of them. Even with the R rating in Requiem just had so much problems attached to it that it just kind of negates a lot of it. So they do a really good job balancing it out. Like I said, all the actors are doing great. There's characters you love, there's characters you don't love, and when, shocker, people die, there are characters that you say bye-bye to, and you're like, yeah, I'm not sad. Where others are like, oh, no, oh. So yeah, they do a really good job of blending everything together. And on an $80 million budget, this film looked great. Like the practical effects are there. The CGI looks very good. Save for one thing. So this is where I will go into a little bit of the things I have an issue with the movie. And it's not a great deal, but they're things that stand out. Without giving too much away, they figure out a way to bring a character back from one of the previous movies. And the CGI on the character, because they had to de-age the character, because obviously from the previous movies, this character would be, the actor playing it would be a lot older. It was choppy. It's kind of that Grand Moff Tarkin CGI from Rogue One. It's not bad at certain points. Like when they're not talking, it's not bad. But when they're talking, you can kind of see the issue. But I can actually let it slide because even though I could notice it, I was so engaged with what was going on, it didn't bother me. And given what's going on with that character, I'll thrust that at you. Given what's going on with that character, I can actually excuse it because you can make an excuse, well, that's because this happened. Okay, all right, I can understand that. But the other thing that I've heard some people say is there were choices made in this film that they weren't sure how they felt about. And having watched the film, I know exactly what they are talking about. And I'd be lying if they say I wasn't on the fence about how I felt about it. On one hand, it's cool to see a different version of this concept because it's a concept that has been done in the Alien films before, but it's a different version of it. And combined with other things it's a amalgamation of concepts put together into a plot point. I also will say that the scenes involving the decisions were entertaining, but I just don't know if, I know we've been approached these before in both the movies and the comics, but I just don't know if this works for the overall movie-going audience. But to be fair, I'm still on the fence because on one hand, I'm like, creative. I give credit where credit's due. Didn't think they were going to go this route. And on the other hand, I'm like, I didn't think they were going to go this route. Interesting. I'm not sure how I feel. But overall, it's something where I'd have to sit on it for longer. Otherwise, I don't have really any complaints. I thought this was a well put together film. It had action, it had horror, even had a little bit of humor now and then. It had likable characters and dislikable characters. It got gory death. It had kind of everything you want in an Alien film. And so, yeah, I would definitely say go watch this. If you've seen Deadpool Wolverine 17 times already, go watch this for your next good R-rated horror film. Otherwise, if you're a fan of the Alien films, you will probably like this a lot. If you're a fan of sci-fi or horror, you will like this a lot. At least I think. So that's my thoughts. Trailers. What trailers did we get? We got the Captain America New World Order again. I'm looking forward to the movie. I have heard about this film, but now I've seen a trailer for it. And I'm like, I'm interested. Called The Heretic, where these two, I want to say they're like they're kind of Jehovah's Witnesses a little bit. And they come to the house of this older man, not like super old. Hugh Grant's not that old, but Hugh Grant. And he invites him in and say, well, I'm convinced. And I was like, well, our work is done. Oh, well, let me go check on the pie. And they realize, we're trapped in here. And he's studying them. Because, for whatever reason, it has to do with faith in religion. It's it looks creepy. It looks fun. And Hugh Grant, I adore Hugh Grant. So I will probably try to catch it and go out and see that movie. What else can I think we saw here? If I can remember real quick. Oh, Gladiator 2. We got that again. I don't hate the first Gladiator. I'm just not obsessed with it like a lot of other people are. Like, it's one of the greatest films ever. It's so good. I'm like, is it? I mean, I know the lines and stuff are you not entertained? It's like, I am Maximus, father to a slain wife, father to a slain son, husband to a slain wife. And I will have my vengeance in this life or the next. Like, I know the lines. Like, Russell Crowe's really good. Joaquin Phoenix is good. But I'd be lying if I said I cared that much. Or, truthfully, I don't care that much. I will admit, I was surprised that we got the trailer for a movie. Now, you want to talk about a movie that I do not care about. Mufasa. I didn't even get out to see the newest version of Lion King, and honestly, I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I've watched reviews. I'm like, I think I would have been bored off my mind in this movie. Honestly, like, the fact they did the photorealistic effects is fine, but now looking at it this time around, like, for some reason this looks cheaper. For some reason it looks faker. I can tell I'm looking at CGI a lot more this time around. And it doesn't help that you still got those real faces, which aren't good at displaying emotion. So I'm going to be flat out honest, because I think that week what is that week? Let's find out, shall we? Picture, if you will. Let's see. What do we got coming out that week? This will give me a good chance to scroll through and remember all the trailers I actually did get. So let's see. Let me just go through. We had The Crow. We got The Crow, which is coming out next week, which I'm going to take my girlfriend to. We're both kind of looking forward to it. It's all right. The Crow. All right, fine. Let's see here. We got, nothing in September came up. Lee, nope, Never Let Go. Joker, we got the Joker 2 trailer, Filet D, which I'll probably be there. Here's the thing. I acknowledge all the good that the Joker is, but it's just not a movie that's my taste. It's not a movie that's for me. Just because of like the subject matter, how kind of visceral it is in a way that I did not like. All right, we got The Heretic, Gladiator 2, Unstoppable. Well, they did get Unstoppable, but that's coming up. That's another movie in November. Like I said, so I'll definitely, I'm going to be at Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Screw Mufasa. That's my December 20th movie right there, baby. And then, and finally Nosferatu. That's the movie we got. And I'm looking forward to that too. So, Nosferatu. And there's a bit more of a lag, whatever. Anyway, I digress. So, that's my thoughts. What did you think? Have you seen the movie yet? Let me know. Until then, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you guys for the next one. Later.